And we back. Hopefully we're gonna get some good lighting on this one. So as long as the lighting don't work, the video don't come out too good, but you know, we bear with it. It's all about the message in the end. It's about getting it done, finding a way. But yeah, we at it. Topic, self-discipline. Self-discipline. It's definitely something I've worked on, definitely something that I'm not gonna stop working on and implementing and sharpening, because when you don't have self-discipline, I mean, obviously no one's gonna give it to you. No one's gonna help you out and assist you with it. With self-discipline, I mean, that's where the progress is going. That's where the steps are taking. That's where you're building a momentum. If I were to get a little bit, I wouldn't say spiritual, but if I were to get a little bit more like on a situation where, you know, it's a theory, it's a supposedly, but I would say when you're making sacrifices, when you're taking action with the self-discipline, God knows, the universe knows, your energy is different. You're activating something, you're sacrificing something. That's why a lot of cultures restrained, ancient civilizations and cultures restrained from like pleasures and you know, certain foods and certain ways, certain things for a while, because it was sacrificial. It was sacrificial. It was a sacrifice. You know, some religions obviously still do it. You know, there's a sacrifice during a period of time where you're letting the universe, God know, that say, hey, I'm giving this up because I'm praying for this, or I'm asking for this, or I want to make sure I'm on track with this. The only thing is, you know, from what I've noticed for myself is that sometimes it's seasonal, it's temporary, and it's half implemented. It's not fully integrated, like I'm all in with this, you know, with this sacrifice, you know. And the sacrifice could be like, you know, not watching Netflix and hitting the gym. It could be, you know, you're not eating certain foods on certain days. Like for me, my personal one, honestly, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Like, there's no reason for me to eating pastries and fast food Monday through Friday. There's no reason. There's no reason for me to be doing that. There is no reason for me to have pleasures Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every damn day of the week. There's no reason. No reason. And I say that because you got 7 days and you're not executing on the details and the plans that progresses you forward. And so what ends up happening is that you set yourself back. You're not progressing, you know, you're hindering yourself. You got 7 days out of the week. More than 80% of it, you're in pleasure. What progress are you making? What results are you getting after, right? So these are the little things I've implemented regarding self-discipline. It's like, no, it's total restriction. It's total sacrifice. But see, I realized you can't do it seasonally. You know, it's a lifestyle. It's part of your life. And I was willing to do that because who doesn't want to win? Who doesn't want to get results? Who doesn't want to progress forward? Who doesn't? Like, people want to progress forward, but then they don't want to go through the pain, the discomfort, the potential of failing. And so they say they don't want it, or it's not worth it, or who cares? You know, they'll say things like that, but deep down, you know, they have, you know, their little visions, they have their little dreams, and, you know, their little calling, the little knock on the chest that says, hey, you know, you should go after this, you should do this, you should do that. And you get up and summon the game, you know, you start rooting for yourself, or, you know, you watch other people do it and you criticize. I said this a while ago. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's a good reminder. I'd rather be criticized, booed, and critiqued than being the one that's booing, critiquing, and criticizing others. I'd rather I'd choose my side. That's just what it is. There's no other way. There's no other way to do what you need to do. And it comes down to you doing it. It just comes down to you doing it, and you're either focused on you or you're focused on other people doing what they need to be doing, and that's where the critiques come from. That's where the loss of focus comes from. That's where you lose track of yours because you know yours ain't gonna be doing what you want it to do because you lack self-discipline. And now you're watching other people do what their calling is, and guess what? You're putting more energy into them than you are into yourself. And so, again, we all have the power for self-discipline, but it comes with letting go of these earthly pleasures. The earthly pleasures, the ones you don't need, but for some reason, out of nowhere, we automatically think we need it. We need it. And yeah, it's tough. I ain't gonna lie. It's tough. It's tough. It becomes part of you. It makes you feel good. Having that donut, having that cookie, that muffin with your coffee, having that certain bar after work, sitting down watching Netflix and eating your burger. I mean, the list goes on and on. The list goes on and on. And, you're either doing things that are progressing you forward or that are hindering you back. That's just what it comes down to. Like, there's people right now I know that, they got to make decisions. There's people that I know that have made decisions that are progressing them forward. And I just want to hang around the people who are attempting, who are achieving, who are progressing forward, because it motivates me to do the same damn thing. But I've noticed when I hang around people that shun, make excuses, and incorporate fears, it's kind of it actually kind of gets me a little stuck a little bit. Am I missing something? But nah, it's just their fears. Their fear has overtaken them. Right? They lack self-discipline. They don't want to give up the pleasures. They're too attached. Right? That's why certain people can't stop drinking. Some people can't stop smoking cigarettes because they're too attached to it. They're too attached to the routine of making them feel a certain way. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing and I'm better, this and that. No, we all got to overcome our stuff. We all got to overcome it. It's a battle that just doesn't stop. It's a battle, it's a game, game up your game. It's what it comes down to. This game is, the game is, it's not rigged against you, it's rigged in your favor. You just gotta learn how to play it. You gotta implement the basics of self-love, the basics of awareness, the basics of consciousness, the basic of karma, of what you give and whatever it is you give, you receive, and what you reap, what you sow, and all the old cliche but true and foundational laws, right? You're already abiding by a bunch of laws in this universe that you don't see, but you subconsciously know they exist. Well, there's a lot more. It's so simple as what you speak about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on expands. Simple things like that we forget that we do. I'm still catching myself. I'm still, to this day, catching myself slipping. And I got to bring myself back into alignment. I got to bring myself back into that composed faith, proper proper alignment with the Most High, with the universe. I know that exists. I know that's where I want to be. I know that's where I operate. But again, it's the battle of the earthly pleasures, of the comfort, of the distraction, of the instant gratification that doesn't bring me to the performance and the mindset I want to be at. So I have to do it on my own. And the more I do it, the more I feel good. The more I do it, the more I see myself winning. The more I do it, the more I see myself progressing into a better version of myself. And I just don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. Because look at this, look at this, look at this. Think of a fan and their favorite sports team that just won the championship. They just won the championship. Woo! They're going to the parade. Next thing you know, they look at the roster, they're like, guess who's coming back next year? Guess who's coming back? We have the whole squad that won the championship. We're gonna win back to back. Guess what? They want to win again. They want to win again. Back to back. They want to win again. Like, are you for real? Of course, it feels good to win. Of course they want to win back to back. Not only do they want to win back to back, let's say they do win back to back. Guess what? Now they want a three-peat. Oh, they want a three-peat. Why? Because they love winning. Because it feels good. That's right. It feels good. Everybody loves to win. Nothing wrong with that. But guess what? Are you winning at your habits? Are you winning at your discipline? Are you winning on focusing on what you got to focus on? Are you consistent? Because those players, those teams, those coaches on your favorite sports team, they're consistent. They're showing up. They're practicing. They're staying away from the instant gratification. You know, they can't be at the bar, you know, the night before certain practices and certain games. Actually, all games. What am I lying about? They got to be on their game. They got to excel. They got to perform. Well, it goes for us as well. Our relationships, our careers, our work, our calling, our studies, all that stuff. Our composure, our attitude, our outlook on life, our perspective. We got to be in our game. We got to excel. We got to show up. We got to perform. That's what it comes down to. It's all on you. And no, here's the thing. The way you root for that sports team, you should be rooting for yourself that same damn way. Because you own you. You don't own that sports team. You own you. You can't run plays. You can't call up the coaches and be like, hey, run this play. Nah, you run this play for yourself. You run your plays. You run your game. You show up. Not a lot of people are willing to do that. But again, you see the word self-discipline? What do you think about? Are you thinking about your sacrifices? Are you thinking about your grind, your grit, your faith on what you got to do? What does it come down to? All right, that's the end of this video. You know, we progressing, we making moves, we're going forward. There's nothing else. Nothing but self-discipline. That's all it is. On to the next. Peace.